Hi everyone, it's Niamh here and welcome to my art journaling page. Today we're going to be making a Lift the Flap quote book, which was a way for me to combine my love of Spots the dog books with their Lift the Flats and how to store all the ATCs that I make because I love making them double-sided. So the backgrounds of these ATCs, artist trading cards. I always get those two mixed up. Was done when I was making a little mini book. I had pages left over, so I decided to cut them into the size for artist trading cards. The stamps that you can see here are 3 new stamp sets from Dina Wakley, sort of new scribbly ravens, the forest friends, and there's a new set of bears which also comes with gorgeous sentiments on the sheet as well. I can't get my words out, I apologize. So I'm just going through, I had a whole heap of stamped out images, I just stuck them onto the backgrounds, and then I'm just going in with my scribble sticks, adding some bright color. You can see some of my stamped images are already colored in. They had some of the new gloss sprays on them, or gloss inks, paints, whatever they're called. Um, so I decided I'd have some with those on it and some using my scribble sticks. So you can sort of see I'm trying to color in the background, but also kind of make it make sense. They're not floating in thin air. So if it's a bird, it might be on a branch. If it's a hedgehog, it's sitting on some ground, just giving sort of a little bit of context to it all. With the raven, which I really, really love, just getting a little blue on it to give a bit of sheen to its color. So I found using the scribble sticks really a quick way to add colors to these because, again, I wasn't being too particular about the colors. Nothing's very realistic. I just wanted to pop some color on these. I wanted them to sort of stand out from the background a little bit. And I had lots of ideas of what I was going to do with these when I sort of made them, but my brain goes a million miles an hour and I never quite get to the bit I need to get to. So, yeah, that's where my brain is. So it's never usually all going in the same direction at the same time. So once I'd sort of coloured in the bits and pieces, I'm then thinking, well, am I going to trade these? What am I going to do with them? Went back and put some like little cheeks on. I'm going back and checking the backs to make sure I hadn't missed any. Some of them were looking a little bit blank. So I decided to go in with my grey ink pad and a text stamp and just sort of fill in a little bit of background, give it a little bit of texture to it, which I liked. I know I am a more is more person, so I tend to add too much. The other thing I really like with my ATCs is to have rounded edges on them. So I just use my crocodile on the 1/4 inch punch and chop them all out. So I had ideas that I was going to use the sentiments from the Dina Wakley stamp set that sort of accompanied these um, stamps, but there wasn't enough sentiments for the amount of cards I had. So I decided to break out my quotes from Tim Holtz, the stickers, and I really like this because there's a lot of sort of naturey type quotes on it that worked really well with this set of animals. But also it sort of gave a uniformity to each of them. Like I had a different character in each one, but they all had the same backgrounds or similar backgrounds, and they all had the same stamps on them, and they've all had the same type of quote on them. So it sort of had a bit of similarity as you went through. So once I'd done the front and just checked that I had everything, then I got on to how I was going to display them. So I'm starting off in my ledger journal, just putting some paint in the background, really, really messy. And I'm starting off with the new pastel colors, so taffy and spearmint or mint. I'm going in with some raspberry and the new stencil, which is Flowing Petals, which I'm in love with. I just love how chunky that one is. And you can just get this gorgeous background. So I want to have sort of this pale colors in the background and then sort of really bright pops in the back. And the reason I want that is because the ATCs themselves, the background, because I made them all with that pale color in the background. I wanted to have something that they worked against, but I also wanted to have this stenciling flowing through. So having the pale colors in the background and then having those bright colors on top sort of really catches your eye. The second stencil I'm using here is the Franz stencil. You get this really sort of cool circular effect happening, which I like over the top too. So you can sort of see this like an almost primary color, sort of that magenta, yellow, cyan type combination with those pale pastel colors peeping through. So I'm just laying out, now the background's finished, doing a little bit of stamping just to bring some of that ledger paper stuff through from the background. I'm also just finishing off my ATCs by putting a black edge on them. I just find with cut pieces like this, having that finishing touch of having a black edge or a dark grey edge really helps. Personal thing, looks really good with gold, by the way, but it just sort of helps finish it off just a little bit. It's an old stamping trick from long ago. So I decided I was going to sort of make this quote collection on my page. Because all of my ATCs are double-sided, I obviously want to really make them flip, and it just so happens they fit perfectly because that ledger book is a little bit longer than some of the other books. It fits in really, really nicely. So I'm going in with the new pink tape from Dina Wakley, sort of a low tack masking tape. Takes stamping beautifully. It's an inch wide, so which is why I cut it in half, because I didn't really need a huge big load of it to go on my page. And I really like this because it sort of blends in with the colors that I've used on the page. So it's not sort of standing out too much, especially when you rub it down a little bit. But you've got that little pop of color, but also because it is low tack, if I in the future decide I want to trade one of these or I want to put it on a card front or do something with it, I can take it out and I can swap them over. It makes it so, so easy. So you can see me using the same stamp again. This time I didn't use a ruler, so divided it in half. I'm just chucking it down on the page. So even though it is low tack, it removes very quickly. You can just see me pulling those off the page. It's not affecting my page underneath, even though there's a lot of paint and so on it. And then just in that little spare spot, it gives me a way to finish off the title page, quotes to live by. So really, really nice way. And I was really happy with a way to display my ATCs in my journal, because usually they sit in a box, and once they go in the box, I don't get them out. Whereas with this, you've got that tactile thing that I can sort of sit in here and flip them over, see what's on the other side, move them around. The little quotes themselves really speak to me. So this is some of the pages flipped over. You can see that tape, how well it blends in with the page as well. And obviously if I hadn't stamped on it, it would blend in even better. I just wanted a little bit of extra texture on the page. So with this stenciling in the background, you've got this gorgeous pop of these sort of naturally flowy shapes, and it's just a really, really fun way for you to display some extra ATCs in your journal. So I hope this inspires you. Until next time, bye for now.